Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, Dr. Mohamed Abdel Halim, political analyst. Good evening, sir. Hello? Hello, Dr. Mohamed? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, doctor.
Hello, ma'am.
Can you hear me? Okay, doctor, how did you follow today the visit by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and holding talks with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the negotiations and discussions that took place between the two leaders and also the signing of agreements? Hello? Hello?
Today's visit of His Own Excellency Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia actually to Cairo seems to be quite, coming at a very crucial period, first in the history of the sort of the diplomatic relations and the consulatic ties between the two countries. And in the meantime, amid what you might call a turbulent situation in the Middle East, and perhaps that might attract almost the whole world into a sort of a regional war, as it might be precipitated every now and again. His own advent and arrival today at Cairo airport, seems to be, acquiring prime concern under, the dictations of King Salman ibn Abdulaziz Al Saud to discuss, issues of mutual ties and bilateral concerns between the two brotherly countries, and in the meantime, examination of the very crucial issues, that would seem to be quite of great deal of concern, not only for Saudi Arabia, but actually for Egypt as much as the whole Middle East. Perhaps on top of this is the situation in Gaza Strip, the sort of, the negotiations on the part of His Excellency Mr. President Abdel Sisi of, reaching to a stoppage of the fire, a ceasefire, so to speak, a truce between the two parties, the Israeli side on the one hand and the Palestinian on the other. And also it comes at the top of negotiations is the attempt on the part of His Excellency Mr. President Abdel Sisi of stopping and of forbidding the forced relocation of the Palestinians and the return again of the refugees, and reaching at the end of the day to the absolute sense of withdrawal on the part of the Israeli side, the Israeli troops, to the borderlines of the 4th of July 1967. And reaching at the end of the day to what you might call the permanent and everlasting battle that would, pass through generations and generations of reaching peace, a consensus of opinion to reach to what you might call, the two-state solution and the establishment of a Palestinian state headed by Eastern Jerusalem, and the stoppage in the meantime of almost all the actions and reactions of sabotage, of forced relocation, of the ethnical cleansing of the act of demolition on the part of the Israeli side. Perhaps that sort of, issue seems to be quite, as I've just said, if you find pride of place to be discussed and examined in an attempt on the parties, on both parties actually, to reach to a consensus of opinion and carrying the file actually to the whole United Nations and to the Eastern world and the United States of America to take a decision and to reach to an overall estimation of the stoppage of the ceasefire or the truce, that would last until today to what you might call a 1 full year Al-Aqsa flood that did start during the course of the last year on the 7th of October. Another sort of file that has been examined and tackled on and upon with great deal of interest on both sides is the economic file and the economic relations between the two countries, perhaps the maximization and the encouragement on the part of the Saudi kingdom actually for the inputs and obtaining the items and the strategic items, as much as maximizing and encouraging the trade and the movement of commerce, offering gates actually, new gates so to speak actually, for both parties, for both countries, and opening new fields for supply and exchange between Saudi Arabia on the hand, that is Riyadh, on the one hand as much as Cairo on the other. You know, as it stands, you know, I mean, apart from the rumors and apart from, you know, the spreading of very false tidings of the stoppage of the relation between the two countries, this sort of visit actually would assume and would testify to the great deal of bilateral relation between the two countries, cultural, historical, strategic, as much as, you know, I mean, their own mutual concern of discussing and of examining, you know, topics and subject matters and issues actually of mutual concern that would be at the end of the day of great deal of benefit for both parties actually.
Yes. I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Dr. Mohamed Abdel Halim, political analyst. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break and I'm going to be back with you.